That's it's working. Good morning, everybody. So Chris Rubicki's here. Obviously, he's going to solve every single business problem you've ever had. Exactly. So fire those at him. A couple quick updates. One, this is live, so if you don't want to be live, don't step in front of that. And we're going to do all of them live, and they'll also be on the YouTube channel, and they'll be on Scottsdale Living Business Edition. And this one is going to feature nothing but Corinne's head. So that's I'm totally kidding. You're not even good. I can see it right here. You're good. So a couple quick announcements. If you need a Christmas tree, this girl, I forgot her name, but she's really cool. I think her family owns a Christmas tree farm in Montana, and they were kind of devastated by COVID, which I never really thought of, but it makes sense. So she's got just a whole bunch of Montana trees coming down. It's on the page. She's giving you 10% off. They're at her house. So if you buy a live Christmas tree, grab one from her. Plus, apparently your husband looks just like Jason Momoa, so I'm proud as well. Which is kind of a bonus. And then December, what date is that? December 10th.
It's a Saturday.
December 10th, Saturday. Santa is going to be right here. Santa will be right here. There'll be a whole bunch of elves. There'll be the Scottsdale Fire Department. Santa's going to show up in a fire truck, which is kind of cool, right? So we'll have that happen. And then my favorite thing is burrows. So we're going to have a Christmas burrow, and he'll be right over there. So you can get pictures with Santa or the burrow. Everything's free. If you want to, bring a wrapped gift for the Scottsdale Fire Department toy drive. So they'll have boxes here for that. We've got a Christmas dinner coming up, which we'd like everybody to participate in. I don't know if I'm big yet. I don't think
December 9th.
December 9th.
December 9th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
is the dinner at Thrasher's Tavern. And we'll send out more information. You do have to pay for your seat. We will get out some kind of Venmo link or something. You can just pay it in advance so you can reserve your seat. Otherwise, you do not have an RSVP.
Yeah, you got paid. It's a little pricey. I mean, they started out like in the hundreds, and we got them down to like $70 or something. So it's not too bad. It's right around the corner. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be. Shoot, you are invited. Yes. Hey, absolutely.
That was my question. So I was wondering if that included the food. Are they like doing like all?
That's all the food. You just got to pay for booze.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, no booze included. Water and coffee's included. So yeah. So it should be a good time. So we got Chris going. This is our last meeting of this month. There is no happy hour meeting this month because everybody's going to enjoy their Thanksgiving. And then we roll into Christmas. Our first podcast is today. So we're going to do the first podcast today. And then into December, just as a selfish thing, like I sell houses for a living and December sucks. So I'll be sitting in that podcast room for most of December. So anybody that wants to get their business on a podcast in front of 34,000 people, let's do it. Be happy to chat with you. Amber's going to be engaged in it. So whoever you want to work with, and we'll knock it out. It'll be really, really cool. All that stuff, of course, is going to go on Scottsdale Living. It's going to go on the business page. It will also go on the YouTube channel. So we'll get you out there as much as we possibly can. With that, I hand it off to my man, Chris.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good. Is the sugar kicked in? Is everybody okay? Did my plan work?
I ate all of it.
What's that?
I ate all of
You
it.
ate all the sugar? All right. So Anyway, today we're gonna actually, I'm Chris from Baker, by the way, in case anybody missed that. So today we're gonna actually talk about turning business challenges into opportunities and what that's like. So how many, just a show of hands, how many people in here, just to gauge, own their own business? Almost everybody. Wow. Okay. So that, and then and the other people, are you guys are you employees for a bigger company? How many, show of hands, who are just are employees? No, and then they're self-employed or working. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So it gives you an idea. How many out of everybody in this room, how many people have been in their line of work or have owned their business longer than 5 years? How about that? Yeah, keep your hands up. I just want to gauge this here. How many for 10 years? Okay. 10 years or more, yeah. So 15 years or more. Okay. So, all right. So cool.
Wow.
All right. And 20 years or more.
Okay, you guys.
Interesting. All right. All right. Thank you for showing us. All right. So now what I would say is that the people who are like in the 5 year, try to get together with the people that are in business for 15 to 20 years and for a virtual coffee. Like, you don't even have to get together. Like, do a Zoom, do a WhatsApp call, do whatever, FaceTime for 30 minutes, right? And have some good questions. And I mean, you have some really quality people in this room, and I think people just need to start talking to each other more. And for the younger people, what also would help you, the people that have been in business longer, or the senior people I should say, is try to bring a referral into that meeting, right? John's been doing this thing for a long time. He's been in real estate for a long time. So, bring a referral into that meeting, and then, and see what you guys learn from each other. Just a suggestion, I've been trying to do that on a weekly basis, and it's worked great for myself. So, and I've been traveling a lot, so I don't have a lot of time in the city. So I've been doing virtual coffees, and I schedule like a 30-minute call once a week. So, just a suggestion for everybody. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of dive in here real quick. First, there's just a little bit about me, for those of you that don't really know me. So, a little bit about my background. So, I went to Arizona State University, and I basically, after ASU, I went and graduated from Hollywood Film Institute. A couple guys you may know have gone there, like Kevin Smith and Ed Burns. They both went there as well. But while I was actually going to school at ASU, I started working in commercials and films. So I was working here in Arizona doing that and going to school. And then when I went to film school, I kind of did the same thing. So I've been in the business in the film and commercial business, and what I like to say is that I've been in the storytelling business for a long time. I've probably worked on over 100 films, commercials. I've written plays. I worked for big production companies. I provided script, what's known as script coverage. I even had some agency work too for William Morris. Then my career kind of switched a little bit. I went into, actually went corporate, and I worked for Fox Sports Net, and Fox Sports. And I actually worked in on-air promo. So all the stuff that you'd see, like promos for big games and things on a week-to-week basis, I was with part of the team, and we built those and put those together. And then after that, I moved a little bit south to Southern California and started I was doing more consulting and had a couple different businesses. I go in some restaurants and bars. And then back when finance was pretty good, I kind of wanted to dabble a little bit into that as well. So, I like having my hands in like three things basically. And so I worked for First National Bank of Arizona and JP Morgan Chase. So I wholesaled loans for a while, and then in 2008 I was lucky enough, I should say, to ride the entire market down. So like everybody else, I found myself out of work. But luckily for me, I owned a bar and restaurant, and the irony is, and actually we had a joint venture with Remax at the time. So Remax folded, all three shops all the mortgage guys were out of work, and some of my bosses and things actually came to work with me over at the restaurant during the hard times, which was kind of funny because so we all kind of stuck together, and it was kind of cool because it taught a little bit about sticking together, community, networking, etc. And then after that, I continued consulting, and basically the next step for me was working as a brand director for an international company overseas, which I did and lived in Europe, in Zurich actually is where I was based for 6 years. So that's a little bit about my background. Now, something you should know that when I was born, and this is like a little personal story that I want you to know before we get into this, is have anybody ever seen Forrest Gump? The movie Forrest Gump? Yes? Yeah? Okay. So Forrest Gump had those braces on. That was me as a kid. I came out with cricket feet. And so yeah, I wasn't able to really walk very well, and I had 2 braces, and then at night I had to put a pole in between because my feet were like this, and the doctor said I may not grow and very tall, and I probably wouldn't be able to run very well. So after I managed to get the braces off, I was about 6 or 7 because I still had one on. My parents actually took me to McDonald's at the mall. I grew up in Wisconsin. So, and we were at McDonald's, and then down below was this ice rink. And I was looking at everybody skating around the ice, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then all of a sudden they cleared like the ice, the Zamboni came, I'm a little kid, I'm standing on the window, I'm looking at everything that's going on. And then the big moment came. All these little kids came out and skated, and they were like this big. They're all my size. They're tiny as you could. Their equipment. They were all, and they looked like little Pillsbury Doughman, but all in all different uniforms, and they're all skating on the ice. And my parents were trying to get me off the window. And I said, hey, I want to go do that. Now I was a guy who just got out of races, and I couldn't. But my parents were supportive. So they took me downstairs. I threw on a bunch of equipment, and I started skating. And hockey actually was a big tipping and changing point in my life because it actually taught me how to overcome challenges because it basically straightened out everything in my legs. I never had really any issues with I had some cartilage issues, but I couldn't do anything about that, but I could skate fine. And so it was really a big moment and learning point for me personally, and it taught me tremendous value as far as teamwork goes. And so for me, I really value working and collaborating as a team. All right, so a little bit about the business, and then we're going to dive into fixing some problems. So the big idea for our agency was how can we basically help as many people as possible, and that was providing more products and services that they need. And you can see I kind of had a bit of a diverse background. So I knew some pretty quality people in some different areas. So what I've managed to do, and with our agency network, is we've created these strategic partners and partnerships. And basically, the products that we serve is we basically provide sales and marketing, CMS, which is customer management software, and capital solutions, right? So we're not doing, as far as capital solutions, we're not doing traditional banking, we're doing alternative financing and payment, and actual payment processing. So we're trying to give as much value back to our clients. So you kind of look at our agency as, yes, is it marketing? Yes, absolutely. But it's about helping small businesses solve their problems and supporting them in a way. And so that's how we decided to set up our business. So sometimes it can be confusing to a lot of people because we provide a few different services, and then they're like, how do you do all these things? And so we have different divisions and different people spread out through the United States. Now, I want to talk about real quick here the problem, and so I want to dive into this. I had a chance to look at some of the emails and things that were sent in, and I happened to choose John's for this morning. So we're gonna dive into John's issue this morning. Okay, so everybody knows who John is in here, right? Right, John. There he is. All right. So we're gonna, and John has some interesting statements and questions that I thought really kind of affected and really transferred to everybody's businesses, right? Which is how to generate more leads, how to prospect and screen your leads, and how to be a better closer in a ghosting, self-absorbed world.
That's a very John question.
So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about this morning. So John, so first of all, before we dive into his problem, John, maybe tell us a little bit about your business and how you're prospecting right now. Like, how are you getting your leads?
So I'm a health insurance broker. I work with business owners, independent contractors, and retirees to advise them on health coverage. My leads are almost all referral. Some of those are within our agency. So our agency as a whole covers different types of insurance, commercial insurance, home and auto kind of stuff. And I have different colleagues that specialize in those things, and so sometimes there's crossover between us.
Right.
And then other times there's, referral partners that we have established relationships, or somebody that I met randomly, or that somebody I know met randomly and just kind of come from left field. So different referrals of different kinds. And so as far as the leads go, so what I do is not a good fit for everybody, and actually the vast majority of the American population is not a potential client for me, because people usually get coverage through their work, but their boss or their boss's boss's boss is a potential client for me. And so screening out.
So are you doing the business, or just the person? You're doing both, right?
I do individual and group, because I work with a lot of solo business owners, and I also work with.
So you're speaking to HR? HR?
Yeah. So kind of screening out, like someone's like, oh, I need health insurance, and then it turns out they're just not happy with their employer plan, and they have a different expectation of what to, like what I have is not going to be any to solve their problem necessarily.
So what are you doing? So you're saying you're getting some referrals, right? But what are you personally doing as far as outreach to reach people yourself? What are you doing?
Go to a lot of events like this.
Okay, so it's more in-person events.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
What about LinkedIn? Do you use LinkedIn?
I do.
Or you, I don't know why.
I'm trying to think. I might have gotten some leads. I mostly have like vendors reach out to me through there. They're like, "Hey, we have this awesome insurance product that you've never heard of. It may or may not be a scam." Like, yeah.
Okay. So, does anybody have any suggestions for John as far as how we should, other than going to networking events, what he should do? Anybody, especially from the people that have been in business for 15 to 20 years, does anybody have a suggestion? Yes.
Have a strong follow-up system with your database, so they would agree.
Okay. So how are you managing your sales pipeline?
I use HubSpot, and I also just track a lot of things through my calendar or with emails. I'll flag them, and if someone doesn't respond, I'll go back through and follow up.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So obviously you're doing a lot. So you're gonna have to. She just said LinkedIn, right? So obviously the internet's a pretty big place. So you need to set up some sort of, maybe a suggestion would be some sort of vehicle to drive traffic to.
Yeah.
Right?
We have a website as well. Yeah.
I saw your website.
Yeah.
But how's it generating? How are people getting there?
Some people find us through Google. We recently updated our website, so our agency is, in the past, has been more focused on commercial insurance and home and auto kind of stuff. So we recently added some more of like what I do.
Yeah. So, but it's not really like there's a guide. So are they doing, is your company doing advertising? How are they driving traffic? That's the big issue.
I don't think we're doing any paid ads.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have a website guy and we do have someone who does SEO from what I understand. But it's kind of like I don't touch that directly.
Okay. So the first thing that I see is that, you know, obviously we need to step that up a bit, right? Those efforts have to be changed.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So it's going to help your capture. And those systems can be set up through digital marketing, right? So they can be, especially like prospecting funnels and things, social ads. But here's also the thing, right? And this is where I think people, especially if you're working or you're affiliated with like a bigger, like a small business, but they're driving the sales leads, right? You need to take ownership of that, right? And you need to, first of all, brand yourself in a way that separates you from your peer group. Number one, like why should I do business with you? First of all, right? Because I mean, insurance can be pretty like a boring place. I mean, it is, right? It's not something you think insurance and you're like, oh wow, it's sexy, right? So, but so how do you differentiate yourself? That, you know, John's a great guy, he knows his stuff. Why should we do business with you? So that would be one thing, right? And then you got to come up with a plan. And a lot of people in here have had their businesses for a long time. I'm guessing they operate from some sort of business plan. They have marketing budgets. They know their numbers, right? Those are all things that you've heard, but actually doing them is really important. But I think you know, you should take the initiative and step that up. And you said, like, it seems like you said, make that phone ring. Well, you know, you got to give them a reason, or you got to give the phone a reason to ring, right? Yeah. So that's another thing. Anybody else? Anybody want to add to that?
How about like a nurturing referral thing after the fact? Like, refer someone to me, I'll pay you.
We do that, yeah.
And it's like built into like an automated thing. So they get reminders, leave a review, refer a friend, that kind of thing.
Like built into the website of like a link.
No, like from you, like your personal app or whatever that would do that for your clients, not for your company. So just you know, so you get a review for yourself, and you could ask for a referral right then, and you know, that's what I mean. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's
good idea.
So let's go to the second thing right now. Is how to prospect and screen leads, right? Because it can be frustrating. It takes some time, you know, go down a road, and then you put your time and some resources in, and then that particular individual or business falls out of your pipeline, right? So, you know, is it a good fit or a bad fit? What are you doing right now for that?
Asking good questions.
Okay.
What exactly are you looking for? You know, well, here's what our options are. Or sometimes I try to get as quickly as possible to the no. Like if it's not going to work out, find out as soon as possible. Like get that rejection out of the way as soon as possible. Because sometimes it's like if they're in I've had a few leads come in that are in a different state that has very specific like licensing requirements.
Sure.
It's like, this is what you need, and I can point you towards it, but I can't do it.
So you learned to ask better questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. Anybody have a suggestion? Anybody else want to say something? Yes.
I have one. It's probably good. It's more focused on the first point. I would say buy leads, qualified leads of businesses, a lot of them, put them in your CRM, and make a lot of calls to them every day. Have a drip campaign for each of those leads, and with the CRM that you can see your open rate, see if people are opening the emails, see if people are browsing on your website, and as they do, those are your paychecks. You know that you have 5 opens, you know, of your email. and follow up with those people with phone calls. If they don't answer the phone, stop by, talk to the human resource assistant representative there, and show your face, and just start actively prospecting as like the main part of your job, probably even more than you're in front of the computer writing policies or whatever. But
Right. I agree.
and just being as a real estate agent, I know that is like the main thing. 50% of my efforts are put into prospecting, and just prospect until other tasks and parts of my business are kind of limit the amount that I can do. So I would just say find big chunks of leads. If you have to buy them, but get into your CRM and just start working your CRM with a system, methodically.
So great points there, right? Basically using analytics and data to monitor your sales process. He's organized a drip campaign, which is awesome because that will save you time if you automate that, right? So you have to have some sort of automation vessel to make that go. And then that way, that will help your sales process as well, so you're not spending so much time on stuff that is not going to work out.
Right.
But I also think you brought up a good point as far as personally about being really direct with your questions when you need to be, right? Because otherwise you're wasting your own time and theirs.
Right.
So there's a diplomatic balance to that, I think those are good points. And like real estate, there's like this market is crazy as far as being competitive, right? These guys do well, and that's their game, right? And John's. And here's the other thing about John. So John, in the little bit I know him, right? I don't know him very well, but we did have a.
You talking about me?
Yes.
Just check that.
So what's really interesting is he told me a story of how Scottsdale Living kind of got started, and how he was driven to start it because he didn't have a very good experience in the networking group, but he's built all this and built it up, right? So he had an emotional connection to perform something, and look at this, it's a little different, right? Not every real estate agent is going and starting some big group. And he's a Michigan guy, isn't there? Like a tremendous long time, but he's managed to do this. Find leads, okay? So it's there's something to that as far as maybe buying a book of business, working that book of business. There's some different structures. I have a friend who's insurance, and he's bought a couple different books of businesses, and he's built up a really, really nice business on that.
Yeah.
So from some people that were going out of, they were looking for exit, So.
Can I throw something in real quick?
Yep.
So I did B2B for a long, long time, right? The first company I ever owned. So to me, it was always one, create a value proposition. Spend 15 minutes, save 15%, right? Go Geico. Second, testimonial. So bring a testimonial in. Donna is your testimonial. I talked to John. We save 15% on our corporate-wide health insurance. It was fantastic. And then call to action. Call me today, or let's talk today, and we can sit down and have coffee and discuss that. And the biggest hurdle for you is the gatekeeper, right? So cultivate the gatekeeper. So the gatekeeper is the one that's going to get you to the next level. Most people in B2B sales blow off the gatekeeper. You never want to do that. So it's always worth a $5 coffee card and schmooze that person. So if I can go to the gatekeeper, and we're going to call Amber the gatekeeper today, Amber. So so we're going to go to Amber and say, Amber, I want to send you this $5 coffee card, and I'd like to spend 5 minutes of your time with you. We can do it virtually, we can do it in person, and I want to show you how we can potentially bring this together to your boss to show him how you can bring value to the company by changing your health insurance using me. So I think you follow those 3 approaches and cultivate the gatekeeper and kill it.
Now that was brilliant too. When he said, and if you didn't catch that in the third part, he gave a gift before he asked.
Yeah.
Don't forget that the after versus before is really crucial there, because you're technically obligating them with that something for free, and they don't even know it. And if they're subconscious, they're like, "Wow, I'm obligated to you. A $5 coffee card got you a guaranteed meeting."
Yeah, it's reciprocity.
Yeah.
I love what you said about gatekeeper, because I see that a lot with when vendors are calling my office and talking to our receptionist. and so many of them are so vague about who they are and like why they're calling us, and it's like,
Where do they
are they
go?
are they a potential client? Is this another vendor? And then I see an email from the same person in my inbox, and they're a vendor, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and people are like kind of vague about like who they are and like what they want, and like, you know,
Yeah, it's just
or they're disrespectful to the reception.
Yeah, because they don't want to, they don't want to get tied up with you. People are so used to the hard sell, right? So that's the other thing, right? They're just trying to get some quotes for their boss or something, right? So my suggestion is going back to what John says: make that person feel special on that call.
Yeah.
Just make them feel special, regardless if you know them or not. You don't know what is going to come back. And then when it comes, then you're going to actually see it jump because you had. You've had some sort of small emotional connection right on that call. So, all right. So, which brings us to our third point, Sarah. How, and this is tough because this is like such a cultural society thing, right? How do you control that? But how do you be a better closer in a ghosting, self-absorbed world? Well, the closing point, that's the part that's up to you. But yeah, you can't control what could be, our culture right now. So, what have you done to work on becoming a better closer for business?
I think a really powerful thing is to have a very clear roadmap from start to finish, and to give people, and this is sometimes easier or harder, but the next step of of giving clear follow-ups of, because you can have a conversation with somebody and it's like, all right, we're gonna do this, and then you'll get back to me whenever, and then they go off and they forget, and then but if you have a clear we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna follow up this day, and then do this, and kind of guide them through each step.
Upfront contracts. You need upfront contracts before you end every call. So before you end every call, make sure you have an upfront contract for the next time.
Yep.
John, what would you say? What makes you a better closer?
So I live in a totally different environment because I'm B2C, but on a B2B environment, again, I go back to the gatekeeper because that person holds the keys to your success, right? So you got 3 possibilities: 1, piss her off; 2, go around her; or 3, cultivate her. Your best option is cultivate her, because if she goes to the boss and gives the pitch, your money.
Yeah, he's out.
Your money, So to me, that's the person I've always had success with. Obviously, in networking groups and environments, if you can get directly to the decision maker, fantastic. But when you're cold calling and you're banging the phones and you're banging the environment, that gatekeeper is the key to the whole thing. And don't forget that that's an intelligent person that probably has a really good rapport and relationship with the decision maker. So you want to influence her and bring direct value to her. So as you get to know her through a coffee discussion or whatever, you find out she has, and this is going to sound horrible, but I'll throw it out there, you find out she has a kid with autism, right? So you want to preach to her how great your health insurance package is for special needs kids or something in that environment. So you made that connection. She takes that, she rolls it back to the decision maker, and she's the one that's selling your product. At that point, you're just signing people up. So, that's a real hard thing to get lead generation on, because you can't get a list of gatekeepers, right? I mean, it's just not something that people sell. But when you call on the phone and you actually get somebody to answer, that's 99% of the time who it is. So, I mean, that's cultivate and develop those relationships, and $5 goes a long way, So even if you put them, and again, we'll go back and I'll circle and I'll stop talking in a minute because I'm now running through your time. But direct mail and thank you cards, they rock. Please tell me, right? They rock. I mean, everybody loves mail and a little piece like that, because they get 5,000 emails, but they open every piece of mail. So
we usually get back with that
something
tangible piece of paper. I was just thinking about
how's that pen?
Well, right. Well, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because we follow up an email, it gets lost. Do you have any idea how many of my emails I find out were in somebody's spam box and we never saw it? So closing a phone call, I closed 3 deals last week that I probably would have never closed if I didn't make that follow-up phone call. Hey, did you get my email? Even. But then I was thinking about this electronic business card thing that people are doing, and I refuse. Because I know when I'm going through all my stuff from the week, I have this tangible piece of paper that actually, I just feel makes more of an impact on me than some digital thing that
Yeah.
gets lost. So mail is a big deal.
Karen.
I wanna add some stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously clients are gonna be a good place to go.
Mhm.
If you've done a good job for your client, they're going to refer you all day long, every day.
Yep.
And that's how I get a lot of my clients,
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
referrals from happy clients. And then client appreciations, and then be known and be known for knowing it. So these podcasts that he's doing, what else, if you're an expert in your field, then people are gonna wanna do business with you because you are known and you're known for knowing it. Yes.
I don't believe in that ghosting thing because we have a Cardinals account. It took us a year to get it.
Mhm.
We have a salesman that kills it. He is so good. Santan Ford is one of ours. Took him 2 years to get that account. He kept going to the secretary, dropping
Yeah.
off a little gift, dropping off a little gift. It took him 2 years to get that account.
Persistence through resistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't believe in ghosting. He just keeps at it.
Right.
And he's sweet and kind and he just,
Yeah.
and finally they said, damn it, fine, come in. And that was it.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the marketing term, John, for trying to say it before, it's like try or die. Yeah, until, especially if you know it's a good camera.
Yeah.
If you screen it, you already know that it's not good, that's where you don't waste your time.
And by the
You focus on
way,
that.
how we got the Cardinals was we came in with a coffee party.
Really?
And we sell office supplies and furniture.
Yeah.
And we said, well, let us just do a coffee party. Because we also do Keurig machines. They said, fine, come on, that's what we'll do.
A coffee party?
We did a couple, well, we sell Keurig machines, sure. And they let us come in. And that's what we got.
Yeah.
And then John, will you hear John and me, and then I think that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing, John, what I'm hearing is how to step into being interested and interesting in every interaction I'm having.
Yeah.
And I know for me, when it came to lead gen or referral, I had genuine interest, and I also made myself interesting. That was through curiosity, possibility, whimsical nature, but that's
Yeah.
a lot of my pillars as a person and human being. I love what you said about the coffee party and being outside the box, because to the point, if you're getting ghosted, it's probably because there hasn't been enough interest established in step 1 or step 2. And so to figure out how do you stand out, like what you were saying earlier, what's going to make you stand out in the world of insurance? Curiosity there.
What was I gonna say? When you show interest in a person, that's that's interesting to people. So I agree with that. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Yeah, not taking it personally if someone falls off the face of the earth. I've had clients that we were talking and then they just disappeared, stopped responding for like a month or two, and then out of the blue they call me back. They were in a car accident or something, or they just had stuff going on in their lives, or just wasn't good timing. So kind of keeping an open mind to that. And the way I've heard it put is like when you stop calling somebody, they like when they buy or when they die is how one person puts it, or if they just say no, if they make it very clear. Yeah, and I find that to be a good goal to have, is not necessarily to win this person's business, but to find out what the needs are and how their needs are going to be met, whether it's me or somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, the last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll just wrap this up, is just that, you know, in the business world, people have a bunch of tools and features and benefits, right? And a lot of times you're out selling that. However, people don't buy tools or benefits all the time. They forget those. They forget conversations that you have, but you know what they don't forget? They don't forget how you make them feel. So if you have that person, you have established that connection, they'll remember you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And Chris has some of his cards out on the table today, so make sure you grab one of those if you don't already have his contact info. So a couple things, John, make sure you have that dinner in the calendar. We will put out an RSVP link on every Scottsdale page, basically. And then again, if you don't pay, you're not actually RSVP'd, even though you like the event and say you're interested and say you're going. You don't have a seat unless you pay. So make sure you do that for that one. I like to phrase schmoozing is sexy. Like really, it's important sometimes, and it's no longer brown nosing. If you're in business, You kind of have to do that a little bit. It's generosity, it's kindness, it's caring, and yes, showing interest. I love what Justin said. I actually just met Justin yesterday, and I found him very interesting. His speech pattern, the way that he delivered information, his cool, calm, collected demeanor, it reminded me of Steve Branch. Just very like, has a good presence, is standing up tall, feels confident, isn't pushy. So I think that, you come across people and you're like, oh, that person was interesting because of how pushy they were. Like, he's sticking in my mind because I walked away feeling uncomfortable. So everybody has something. Everyone has something that they are remembered for. Make sure you're remembered for what you actually want to be remembered for. Feedback for each other is really crucial. So every single time that Karin and I do something, we'll talk about how we did or how to improve, and it comes from a place of like care and friendship. And Donna would be happy, a great person to shoot feedback on. John's gonna shoot straight from the hip, you know that. And so it's great to get feedback. If you did your 30-second intro and you didn't ask me if I recorded a video of it, or hear about it, today's your chance. We're gonna let it roll. And so for our 30-second intros today, Karin is gonna use a timer. If you hear it ding, go straight to your name, your business name, and your slogan, and then take a seat. We are going to let you come up and rotate to the front. So when you walk up, please walk this way to the end of your aisle and then come up. So Justin, I think we'll start with you. And then at the end of your 30-second intro, after you hear the timer, I'd also like you to give a 10-second something to another member. A shout out, a thank you, something about their business, 10 seconds or less. That's a very short amount of time.
30-second summary.
After you hear the timer, you have another 10 seconds, and then go ahead and take a seat.
And just a little, technical input. Step up in front of the screen. It's going to be on the video. We'll cut all these for everybody and send it to you if you want it. Stand exactly where Amber's standing. That's the camera right there. Give it 2 seconds before you start talking and 2 seconds after you're done before you move away. That way we got room to cut it. So there you go.
Awesome. Okay, Justin, you're first. And speak to the back of the room.
Good morning, everybody. 2 seconds on. Mississippi to Mississippi. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm Justin with the Better Choice Lenders. We're a non-traditional commercial lender. We focus on specifically small businesses, people who have vision, however, do not check off the boxes for a traditional banking option. Additional to that, myself and Jesse also work with small businesses, focus on something called the Employee Retention Credit. And as you know, the pandemic was hard for a lot of individuals, myself included. And as a business owner who went from a year of incredible growth in the first anniversary to a year of dismal results and inability to transition gracefully into the virtual space, funding was important, and we did not receive a lot of it support. So a lot of my goal currently is to sit with businesses and to see how we can make a good fit for the pandemic hardships that they went through. Justin with the Better Choice Lenders. 10 seconds. Shout out to John for being the connector in the web. I got the chance to visit Amber and Kristen and a bunch of you other guys here in the room. Friendly new faces, and what was beautiful was how welcoming and open and charming everyone was for an intimate group. So I look forward to visiting again. And thank you for being here today. Great value from everybody.
Nice job. Okay. You're up.
I'm just going to say the same thing you said.
You can if you want. It's a good practice.
Okay.
Yeah. I really want everybody to go up. If you feel like you have nothing to say, just practice it.
Actually, I'll just go. I'll do the other side of what we also do together. So, my name is Jesse. On top of being a financial consultant with the Better Choice Lenders, I'm also a life coach, and I facilitate men's support groups. Justin and I both do here in the Valley. So we bring the conscious men together. John's part of those groups as well. So we all know each other. So if you, and there's also a women's group that we're connected with as well. So if you're looking for good conscious community, people that are coming together trying to be the best versions of themselves, or if you know of anybody that's looking for one-on-one coaching, my website is coachjessebush.com, Bush like the beer president. And yeah, I'll also give a shout out to John. Thanks for being who you are and what you keep together. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ken Leshin, Beyond Motion. I'm in video production. Christopher, you and I have a lot of connections, other than you went to ASU and I went to U of A. But I did study film, and I've been in the video production business for 30 years. Both of my kids play hockey, so I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. So we definitely have to do a one-to-one. But yeah, so I have 30 years of experience in video production, lots of awards won. I mean, just sitting here right now, I got a call from a client who left me a voicemail about how great the video was that I worked on yesterday. And also we got an email this morning with a note from another client who was just ecstatic with the stuff I did yesterday for them. So it's great. I really enjoy what I do. Love it. I've been doing it for years. That's my timer. And my shout out to John. Keep reaching out to me, because you and I are doing business. He's going to do health insurance for us.
Yeah.
I got to connect with you. But yeah, what you're doing with me is great. It works. You know, just keep emailing. Don't be pushy. I think it works. You know.
Good morning, Scottsdale Living. I'm Karen Whitehurst. I'm with Mutual of Omaha. I've been with Mutual of Omaha for 26 years. I am your life insurance, disability, and long-term care Medicare specialist of the group. What a good referral for me would be somebody that's in the Medicare, that's going into Medicare. We only have a few more weeks till December 7th. So if you know somebody that's really struggling, needs to get a drug plan or figure out their Medicare solution, have them give me a call. Karen Whitehurst, Mutual of Omaha, Strong Staples. And my shout out is to Ken. He is amazing at what he does. If you guys haven't had a chance to do a one-to-one with Ken, he is very talented. He can put videos together out of still pictures and make them look live. So, see Ken.
1,000 to 1,000. My name is Sebastian Gonzalez. I work for Scottsdale Bullion and Coin right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. New to the area, new to the group, and just trying to get acclimated here. What we do is we obviously Scottsdale Bullion and Coin. We're a precious metal, small boutique precious metal investment firm. So we help people learn how to buy and sell precious metals. Not paper, not like trading ETF, VLD or SLV. We actually do physical delivery of gold and metal, silver, bullion, coins, numismatic coins, and stuff like that. So it's a good hit. A lot of people are looking into precious metals. Obviously, it's got over a 5,000-year track record. Not like Bitcoin or something, like that. Which I'm not knocking Bitcoin. I'm not knocking other things. Kind of like one thing about me is, I am a Marine, and Marines always like to say we're the best, right? But I always have a lot of respect for all of the other services, Navy, Army, Air Force. And so gold, even though I think it's the absolute best, of course, I'm not going to knock other forms of investments. I think they're all necessary. So haven't worked out a tagline quite yet. I'm still working on it. But, I'm just going to go with the Be Bold, Buy Gold. And I'd like to give a shout out to Tara. She's not here today. But she has a skincare business, and her tagline is much better than mine. It's okay. Look fantastic, not plastic. And I'd also give a shout out to Becca. She's a loan officer, and she's the first friend I made when I got here. So if you have any little friends who need loan officers, talk to Becca. Thank you.
Hello, Scottsdale Business Living. I'm Becca Fisk. I'm with Nexa Mortgage. I'm a loan officer, and today I would like to dislodge some of the fear that's in the industry. People are feeling fearful about going into home ownership, and I want to take that away. Because of where we're at right now, we're having so many options to reduce our rates through seller concessions, which means that sometimes the seller will provide funds to help you buy your rate down for the first 2 years. So we're getting rates that are at 6.5, and we're getting people in at 4.5 the first year and 5.5. There's solutions. So don't be fearful. Tell your friends not to be fearful and move forward on home ownership. I am a broker. So that means I do not work for a lender, I work for my clients. I have access to 180 plus lenders, so I have a lot of different products, whether it's an investment property or a first time home buyer or a down payment program. So back to Nexa Mortgage. And my shout out today goes to Kathy. Kathy came to my house, you all, and it was so disarray. And she made it orderly. And we spent a few hours organizing home goods, and my house doesn't look like a college house. It actually looks like an adult house. So my shout outs to Kathy. Thank you.
You did not take the middle round.
I did.
Rebel. Good morning, Scottsdale Living. I am Donna Kimmel, and my husband and I own OPACS, which stands for Office Products, Promotions, and Custom Solutions. So anything with your name on it, holding up your pen, and a bag I just paid for a company. So I like to help promote other companies by getting their name out there, which is really important, especially if you're a new business or a company that just is having a hard time being recognized out there in this crazy world. So that's what I do. My tagline is get your brand on. And my shout out would go to the G-Man. Are you here? Yeah. So the G-Man is a Frank Sinatra singer, and he's fantastic. So if you haven't heard him, you need to go see where he's playing. So it's to you. That's it. Thank you.
And it's boot leather too, right?
Boot leather.
Yeah.
Right in that high street.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Janet Luce. I'm a naturopathic physician. My practice empowers individuals to elevate their health and wellness. So you're probably spending 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes on a good day with your doctor, and I'm here to change that. So my expertise is hormone replacement and weight loss. And yeah, that's it. So my shout out is to John. He's such a nice guy. And then the other John is just big heart.
Not nearly as nice.
And thank you for creating this group, and I really love it. So,
Thank you.
And Amber too. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Steve's gonna hop in if you don't mind. He's gonna-
Oh,
Then you
cool.
You can stand up.
Sorry for cutting the line. I got a thing
Okay,
against
go
it.
ahead.
My name's Steve Branch, I'm on Mindset Survival. We teach you how to be safe on any level. So self-defense, less lethal firearms. What makes us different is that you can go to any one of these ranges that are in Arizona, and they're everywhere. But we're private. So we'll come to you. You can come to our new office in the back corner there. And we work on your schedule. So it's not something you have to come and join. So Mindset Survival and Steve Branch. My shout out is to Jen. They have some pictures. Really helped us get our brand out there and relaxing. It's a great, if you haven't done it, it's a great experience. So, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Landholm. I'm a health and benefits broker with Generous Insurance. We're a small local agency in North Scottsdale. I work with business owners, independent contractors, and retirees to advise them on health coverage. A great referral for me would be a business that's either an owner or HR decision maker. They're trying to reduce costs, save the economy. Healthcare tends to be a really large cost, so I would love, now would be a great plan to review their plan. I've saved quite a few clients quite a bit of money. I'm John Landholm with Generous Insurance. I empower your health choices. There's so many people in this room I could shout out. Today I'm going to go with Donna. So the business cards that I started off with in my agency, don't tell my boss this, they're this hideous yellow green color, and I knew I needed to figure something else out. She and her staff were super patient and completely redesigned. I got my own stuff. They turned out great. I look forward to getting some more products to you guys as we move into the season of giving. Now would be a great time. Donna can hook you up with swag to give away, thank you cards and so forth. So.
Eco Moment Green Clean. We are an eco-friendly cleaning service. One thing that makes us different is we have our own line of natural cleaning products, which we developed, which are safe for the whole family. They're safe for pets, people with allergic reactions and sensitivities. We are valley-wide. We primarily are in Scottsdale, but we service the East Valley and the West Valley. And also what makes us unique is we have an amazing and happy staff. We take care of our employees, so they take care of our clients. So our mission is to create ease in our clients' lives. We are Arizona's Green Clean. And my shout out is actually Jessica. She's very passionate and amazing and knowledgeable with essential oils, and just hearing about how she talks, and even how she smells when she sits next to me, I just feel more relaxed. She's a great resource for essential oil questions, and she can also help you with client or employee giveaways as a gift to give back to them.
That's great. She's very
All right, well, thank you, Sarah. My name is Jessica. Sarah's right. I am a clinical aromatherapist. That means I'm formally trained on all things chemical and pharmacological when it comes to essential oils. That means a lot to me and probably little to you, but the point is I'm not a crazy oil lady. I like to emphasize that just because there is a lot of misunderstandings about aromatherapy and essential oils out there on the internet and in the business, and I like to clarify that I own my own company, I source my own oil, and I work mostly business to business. So, for example, rather than have a business card, I can help you provide some scent marketing for your potential customers, John. So rather than leave a card with them, you could leave them with a signature scent, something that they could remember with your name on it, that sort of thing. I want to give a shout out to Amber and Karin in particular. They have helped introduce me to some people that have actually invested back into my company on a corporate level. I just got an order for 60 corporate gifts. Yes. And so all of those employees will receive a very health and wellness driven sensory gift for Christmas. And so if you want anything like that for your employees, Amy, that's cool. Nice job.
I'm Dr. Jen Wolf with Back to Motion Chiropractic. I have a great passion for what I do, and that is getting my patients out of pain and back to motion, and doing that as quickly and efficiently as I can. I combine a few different adjusting techniques and a lot of different therapies, including soft tissue therapies like cupping and gua sha, but a lot of other lasers and stuff like that as well. I believe in both doing the adjustment as well as working the soft tissue together to really feel the body and find out where the source of pain is coming from. I see car accident patients as well, but also anything from headaches to foot pain. I have a lot of experience. I've been in practice for 15 years. My office is Scottsdale and Camelback. So come see me if you have pain, and I'll get you out of pain and back to motion. My shout out is to Amber and Wright, Dr. Amber. She has actually worked on me. She is great with her diagnostic skills. She has a great heart for what you do, and she's incredibly intelligent, which I'm sure all of you know from the way she presents herself. That's it.
Didn't know I'd be on camera today. That's all right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Kaufman with Mas Pas Massage. I'm a massage therapist, and I have a service for anyone and their needs. I offer traditional massage therapy. I also specialize in Hawaiian Lomi Lomi, which is a firm pressure meditative experience. It includes a lot of long, continuous ocean-like strokes that just places you in a complete trance of peace and relaxation. I also specialize in Sarga bodywork, which is a deep tissue barefoot massage. So if you prefer deeper pressure without pain, Sarga is perfect for you. A business that I want to shout out would be definitely Jenna Karwowski Portrait. She has taken the best photos that I've ever seen of myself and my family. It's a lot more than a photo shoot, it's an actual experience, and she guides you every step of the way from the outfit to your pose to your face. She's awesome.
Who's up?
Daniel?
Oh,
You're
no,
up.
I was gonna, oh, go ahead, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Amber, I stole the timer, you do the timer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, thank you.
Hello, Scottsdale Living. I'm Daniel Cruz with Real Estate at the Firm. I'm a commercial real estate agent. I help small businesses and large businesses find a better space, whether you want to upgrade your space, your brick and mortar space, or you want to find a cheaper rate on your lease. I can help you with that. If you want me to review your lease to see if it's possible that you could find something for cheaper, you can do that as well. Perfect referral for me would be someone who has a small business that is looking to move or shift around or coming to the end of their lease. My tagline is Daniel Cruz, Guy in Commercial Real Estate. I'm keeping that one. Want to give a shout out, of course, to all the Marines in the room. Happy birthday. And also John and Amber for creating and maintaining this platform. It's made me a better networker and social media manager. Daniel Cruz, Guy in Commercial Real Estate.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Eric? Try to be ready for the next one, you guys, and we're kind of turning over quickly.
Hi, I'm Eric Anderson with Scarlet Paint Solutions, and I'd like to talk a little bit about stress today. As we enter into the holiday season, it's going to be a joyous time, it can also be a stressful time. I can provide immediate and long-term relief from stress by bringing your fight or flight responses down, bringing the rest and repair functions up at the same time. You can contact me at scarandpin.com. My shout out is to Dr. Amber, actually. I had an upper chest strain, and most physical therapists just give you a list of exercises to do and leave you at it. Dr. Amber doesn't do that. She actually takes the time to manually diagnose the problem and fix it. So she actually fixed it in one time. So thank you for that.
Thank you. That's a great testimonial. Thank you. Great job. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jared Perry. I'm a professional Sinatra singer known as the G-Man. I specialize in, I croon hits made famous by Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, and many more. I perform all over the valley. Get me for your private parties. I'm booking up fast. Of all the days to not wear my G-Man shirt is the day we're going to be on film. My apologies. Listen, every meeting I shout out somebody. So I wish I had saved them for when we're going to be in front of the camera. So I guess I need to shout out John Doring and Amber for keeping Scottsdale living alive. I'll tell you guys, it's been life-changing. It really has been life-changing. I was so worried when I moved here to start from scratch, and all of a sudden I'm just blowing up. But G-Man, I take your event to the next level. Hope to hear from you.
Yeah.
One, two. I am Jenna Karwoski, and I am a headshot personal branding and custom portrait photographer. Who here does not like their photos or does not feel that they are photogenic? Sit with raised hands. Yeah. You guys are all my perfect client because truly you don't need to be photogenic in order to take a great photo. I will coach you and help you through all the poses and all of the expressions to ensure that you do truly get the best photo that you've ever seen of yourself. Wanted to quickly say that on December 7th, after the meeting here from 9:30 to 12:30, I'm doing a headshot session for Scottsdale Living, $150. There are still several spaces, so be sure to sign up. There is an event on the event page. You can go to that or come see me after the meeting. My shout out is, of course, to John and Amber too. I might get emotional because you just, anyways. If it wasn't for this group, if it wasn't for meeting you in another networking group and coming here, I do not think that my business would be what it is here in a brand new state in such a short period of time. So thank you both for what you've created and continue pouring into all of us.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kathy Peterson. The name of my company is called The Blissful Nest.
Can we restart? You were off screen. There you go. You're good. Yep.
Good morning again, everybody. My name is Kathy Peterson, and the name of my company is called The Blissful Nest. I am a professional home organizer, home styler. I've been in the real estate industry for over 22 years. I'm a realtor. I also am an interior designer. My favorite client, and there's so many, but right now there's so many people downsizing, whether it's cost, age, just getting to a new location, and they're very, very skeptical about getting rid of their belongings that they've loved for so long. So I actually come in, help them get organized, and take the stress out of what they're doing, whether it's take a picture, get rid of. You can donate. I have a team that works with me. Shout out to that. And thank you for allowing me to come to your beautiful home. And a good referral to me would be a real estate agent that's putting their house on the market. I've been in the real estate agent, so I know what buyers are looking for. They want to come in, beautiful surroundings. They don't want to see junk. They want to see, I don't care if you shove it in your closet for a while. They want to come in, take your personal pictures down, and just get ready to sell it. Because 20% of the time that your home looks pristine, it's going to sell you at a higher dollar. And again, thank you.
Sure.
Good morning, Scottsdale Living. My name is Chris with the Big Agency, and we provide creative growth strategies to small and mid-sized companies. I just wanted to say thank you very much to John and Amber and Donna and Carmen, who's someplace in the other room, for not only kind of keeping this group and building this group together, but it's just been amazing and welcoming. And Donna, I know we haven't interacted a lot. Donna's like the nicest person. I mean, she just sits there and she smiles. She's got such a pleasant disposition, and it makes everybody feel very welcome and very, very special. My shout out is obviously to those guys, but there's one last shout out I want to do. It was my father's 80th birthday, and so I want to give a special personal shout out to my dad.
2001, 2002. Hi, my name is John Doring. I founded Scottsdale Living and Scottsdale Living Business Edition with my friend Amber. And I'm a real estate agent. We're not going to talk about that today. But the reason that I'm here and the reason that we did this is this right here. It's from everybody in this room. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for being here. We're going to continue to bring you just a massive amount of value at all times. And we really absolutely love that you're here. So my dream is coming true as far as this building and bringing all this stuff together and these classes. We're going to continue that. We're going to kill it. My shout out today is to the G-Man, right? Because here's a guy that's a fantastic performer, without a doubt. But even more crucial to me is that he's a businessman. So anytime that I've recommended him to anybody or mentioned him, he's all over. He's prompt to respond. People love him. He engages. He gets stuff done. So that's my testimonial. My shout out to my man there. 1001, 1002.
You're going to ask for testimonials?
Oh yeah. Here's the deal. So I've got a video guy in the back that's doing testimonials for Scottsdale Living, right? So I built a class on how to build Scottsdale Living. So if you're interested in participating and sharing anything about Scottsdale Living that's been positive to you, that you feel like is, that you would like to share and you're comfortable sharing, please do. Please see Jake. He's in the back, and it'll be everywhere in the world. So everybody's going to see it. So if you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. But if you're cool with it, love your testimonial. Talk to Jake. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. And it'll just help me get it rolling. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely please do that before you go today. If you have time, pop in there really quickly. Hi, I'm Amber Enright. I own a company called The Therapy Doctor. We are a concierge physical therapy and massage therapy company, and we serve everywhere from Paradise Valley all the way to North Scottsdale, almost up to Cave Creek, Arizona. We come to your home to provide an actual, intimate, private, and personalized care plan. Whether you have brain cancer or you just have joint pain and you're an avid golfer and you wake up sore, those are things that we want to help you improve your independence and function on. We also work with people not just who are healthy, but all the way to end of life. So I also do palliative care and hospice care. And sometimes I'm also able to graduate people out of hospice into palliative or into full function, which a lot of companies, even insurance-based companies, will tell you is basically impossible. I specialize in neurology and oncology, so cancers, dementias, Parkinson's disease, and other types of neurologic movement disorders and neurodegenerative diseases. So if you don't know what that means, it's a terrible diagnosis like dementia that doctors think you cannot improve from, but there is actually hope that you can either maintain function for a very, very long time and live out the most of your life in a very functional state, or there is the opposite option where a lot of people will kind of curl into a bed in a wheelchair and be very non-functional for a very long period of time, which is actually breaks my heart and the reason I made my company. So if that sounds like anybody that you know, please definitely give them my information. My website is aztherapydoc.com. And we also are a cash pay company, so we don't accept insurance. It is private pay, but we have payment plans for bigger packages that make it more affordable, and it's 100% worth every dollar and a competitive price to boot. So if you know anybody like that, please send them my way. Dr. Amber Enright, the therapy doctor, and my tagline is moving you with heart. My shout out today goes to Scottsdale Living and John Doring. I joined this group on the recommendation of a friend of mine. I was like hanging out with at the pool, and she's like, "There's a Marketing Monday on this web group. You should market your business on there." And I like joined, and I didn't really want to do the Marketing Monday thing, but I started participating by recommending other businesses. And shortly after that, John actually had an opening for a moderator position, and I just threw my hat in, and he saw that I actively participated in the group because every group shows you how much people participate in it and how active they are and what exactly their tone is. So you can see how many times your comments were declined or rejected completely. And so you kind of have a report card on there. And my report card was probably stellar. So he's like, "Hey, you're the one for the job." And I take that job very seriously. And my job is to market your businesses. My job is to be a voice of reason that you can come to, and also to help smooth out issues and be a team player and have each other's backs. So if you are a community person, that's something that everybody I think in this room should be eager to do, is just give back by being a good person. I think that it has bought me a lot of mileage. It's why Donna, Jen, Rebecca, Jessica, every single one of you is feels successful in this group, is because we have each other's backs and we treat each other like we're family. In fact, I see all of you much more than I see anyone in my family, and I take great pride in that. Actually, it's fun, it's wonderful. I love getting to know you. And another shout out to Eco Mama Green Clean. Sarah Mitchell sent her crew out, and it was exactly what she said. They were like happy to be there. They loved seeing my dog. Like, I felt really comfortable leaving the door open for them and going to work. My home, okay. The best feeling in the world is coming home to something done for you. I could have cried when I came home. My laundry was folded. It felt so good. Everything was spotless. You know, I've used Dawn and vinegar on my shower like 20 times, and I could not have had a better service. I couldn't have had a better experience. I could say that about 50 of your companies. Donna, you own it. I can't even. She is generous beyond words and a team player for sure. So thank you all of you who believe in me as well. That means the world to me. And we're done for today. No happy hour again this month. That was just, it's Thanksgiving. Go enjoy your time. Hit up G-Men on Friday if you don't have plans on Gallery Bar on High Street at 7 o'clock. And we will have our first meeting December, first Wednesday, the 7th. Thank you. Right here. Bring a gift for G-Man. You let us pay. All right, so we'll see you all December 7th. Get together, people, and then don't forget to put December 9th on your calendars for the dinner and the 10th for Santa.